And then I'll click got it. Beautiful. Got it.
We're actually going to do more than that. We're going to be going through strips, locks, chokes.
All right. So when we talk about Centerline 1, we need to really understand the history of this. So Centerline 1 started off as a greenbelt kata because if we look at the movement of it, right, we're talking about short forward stances. We're talking about the most complicated technique that you have in this, a soft style lower block or a soft style middle block, right? So the techniques necessarily aren't that difficult. The concepts behind them are harder to internalize because when we look at the original kata, when we look at Suning Tao from Wing Chun, we're looking at a form that was designed mainly as a drill. This was not an applicable version of anything, right? We come up, down, up, in, they punch, they rotate their wrist in before they come back, and then they repeat the next part, right? Even when we look at their other techniques like their bong sao is here, right? Look at this perpendicular parallel arm. This isn't really going to block anything, right? Until you get to the next form that they're talking about, which is Gyuzu, which is building.
Sensei Johnson, can you move a little closer? Perfect.
Oh, just move a little closer.
Yeah, just move a little closer so we can see your arms better.
Okay, gotcha. So when we talk about the punches, right? One here, they rotate down and up, and that's not super applicable until you think about they're training their wrist and they're training on always coming back to that proper form for the punch. When we look at their blocks here, right? Our block comes across and it makes a nice wall. Their block is a hook that is parallel to the ground. So this is not super applicable until we go into their second form. Now their second form adds in their foot movement. So instead of just this punch here, now they're moving aside. Now even their blocks are coming across. So what we're doing with this Centerline kata is we're taking those principles and we're connecting them with Kung Nu footwork and Kung Nu concepts. So this is a completely different form inspired by those Wing Chun, Suning Tao, and Gyuzu concepts. So when people ask like, oh, what was this inspired by? It wasn't just Suning Tao. It's also that second form, Gyuzu, building the bridge. We're connecting those dots, we're building the bridge, all right? So keep that in mind as we go forward. Let's start off with the first couple moves of kata. All right,
Here we go, 1 time.
so we'll bow in once to the kata, and then we will move forward from there. We'll bow in again until the end when we go over the full kata. Bowing into kata. Ciao. Our first move, we're going to come up with our right hand on top, and our heels are going to swing outward into an inward stance. What's important to note here is that from my natural stance, all I'm doing is moving one heel length. There's about 2 or 3 inches to the outside. So what we've noticed in the past was this, right? Super exaggerated inward stance, but it breaks our knees, so they're not having good structure and form. So we're making a very small movement here. Comes out 2 or 3 inches. We say small diagonal stance, both pointed inward, and our hands are going to come up right over left. All right.
What you doing?
From here, hands come down, left on top. Hands come up, left on top. Okay. One more time. Resetting. We've bowed in. Hands come up, feet swing out 2 or 3 inches, not too wide. Down, left on top, back up, left on top. Right. Rep that out for a couple minutes. I'll give you about 2 minutes to rep that out. Focus on making sure that your heels do not go outside of your shoulder line, right? So if here's my heels to start off with, right in front of my shoulders, I'm swinging it out, and so that they're not way across. Okay. So you're talking about a 10-degree angle to a outside 10-degree angle. So you really only move about 20, 30 degrees at most. Practice that. Give it a shot. Sensei Russ.
Yes, sir. Hi.
I thought you had your hand up. Were you saying something?
I did. So you're saying right, and then down.
You're going to do a root block.
So the left is on top. So I'm here and I just drop straight down. Now,
Yep.
coming back up is when I have like a flip, correct?
Correct. That's exactly right. So right's on
Okay.
top.
Yeah. I'm just clarifying so I can practice it correctly.
Left stays on top.
Correct?
Perfect.
Okay. A little bit of a scissors coming in on that third one. Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Do not try to catch the tambo. So don't go in here and go and trying to catch the tambo. It's not going to work. You might hit yourself and affect your hand snap. So when you come up, you're checking.
Sensei Alex, could you take 2 steps backwards so I can see your feet?
When you do that,
Sure thing.
I told you I could turn my head forward, and I didn't tell you as I step my left foot back. You also know what generates a lot of the power, your hips. So when I take my right hip back, boom, and I follow through.
Beautiful.
The hip turn.
Feet look good. Nothing's too crazy or exaggerated.
First, and of course, faster than
Looks good.
all right, go ahead and do it a couple more times.
Beautiful. How are you, gentlemen? Looking all right?
After you strip the tambo, please do follow through.
So when we're doing this technique, this is not a right? We're not super powerful with this. This is a concept that we're going to bring into application, that we're going to bring into further thoughts. So when we're coming up, think about what the hands are doing. They're touching, they're connecting very lightly. So as we connect, one presses down and one follows. One comes up, one follows. One comes down, one follows. This is the concept of bhajan, of feeling. We're trying to make sure that our hands connect in such a way that we can understand where our opponent works, right? If you've ever done the drill with sticky hands, this is sticky hands, but by yourself. So as you play with this concept, now our hands go from 1, 2, 3 to 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we can start playing around with what happens as one hand reacts and one hand acts. All right. So this is not a block up, block down, block up again. This is figuring out where our hands can go to control an opponent's movements and our opponent's hands. We're controlling the center line from here. So as we add in our rotation, I'm pulling, I'm pushing forward, I'm pressing down, I'm hooking back. There's a lot of things you can do to play around with this, and it's so much fun. I spent hours just repping this part, figuring out what my hands can do. Any questions on part 1?
So try now all 3 of those on the left side. See how it feels. See if you like it. Side.
Great, let's move forward.
Go through each one.
All right, so part 1, hands up, feet out. 2, 3, left hand stays on top. Hands come in
Yes, you could.
the chamber.
That would using the butt end.
From here, we're going to do our basic forward stance movement, right? 1 foot opens, come to cat stance, and then step out into that forward stance with a left punch. So we're stepping from chamber, open, cat stance, left short forward stance, left vertical punch. Our hand does a ridge hand from shoulder to shoulder, and then grasp back to center. Right? Don't go too crazy. Don't go just a flip. We're from one shoulder to the other and back to middle, making sure that our knuckles and our cut go straight through the neck.
How do we feel about that?
One more time. 1, 2, 3. In. Good forward stance movement. Punch. Bridge hand. Grasp the center. Same thing to the right side now. Left foot opens. Right foot comes to cat stance. Short forward stance with a punch to center. Bridge hand. And grasp back to center. Make sure we're going from shoulder to shoulder with that ridge hand. All right. So one of the things that Master Robert and Elizabeth are really emphasizing for this portion here is the length of that forward stance. So as I'm coming from my inward stance here, I open up. Notice my heel is in line with my toe. So I'm really not stepping forward a lot, right? We always talk about nice, deep, wide forward stances, but we don't want that here. We want to be able to generate power in the shortest distance possible. So I'm locking that leg, loading it in as I step forward, bam, right? All that power explodes out in one shot in about 5 to 6 inches of space, right? I'm not as good as Bruce Lee. I can't do a 1-inch punch, but I can do a 5-inch punch, right? So that's what we're generating here. So let's wrap that out. Let's try to generate good power from that. From our inward stance, we have done our sticky hands. We have pulled our hands into chamber, open foot, lock, load, everything's facing forward, bam. Bridge hand, grasp, open, lock, bam. Bridge hand, grasp. I give you 3 minutes. Rep that out. Try to find where that power is. And it's going to come from, what do you know it? The stance and the load, right? If your stance and load are too off, you're not going to generate power in. If it's too open, you're not going to generate power in. It's got to be facing forward. So everything drives forward in one shot. Vertical punch start. Horizontal punch. So I just punch. Holding the. I guess you can hold it. Yeah. So Amy, do a proper again. Make sure it's ending on center line, James. See what do we got here? Oh, I'm sorry, Emily or Amy, you can come with it again. Unity Dojo, watch your forward stance. You're stepping forward a little bit too much. Remember, we want to get our heel in line with our toes. How are your toes pointed on the miniature forward stance? Just like a regular forward stance. So I think I can do that. So for my forward stances here, right? 1 foot slightly open, 1 foot slightly inward. Right? Here's my regular forward stance. Toes forward, toes forward. So my feet look like that, right? Shorter, I still have those same angles. Right? I still have those same angles that I have for regular forward stance. Long forward stance, short forward stance, same foot angle. Great question. Okay. And the reason we have this slightly angled in is if you look at what happens when someone tries to step forward and they slide on wet floor, what's making contact, right? The toes or the heels make contact first. So as you step, you're making very little contact with the floor, and that's what's allowing you to slick and slide, right? Even when you're trying to step perfectly flat-footed, the structure of your foot has that arch in it. So you're not making a suction cup, you're hitting one part and then sliding out. If we angle our foot sideways, then what makes contact first? It is that flat knife edge. So that flat knife edge is grabbing the ground and gripping and preventing you from moving too far forward. So that's why our foot angles inward slightly when we step forward here. So one, bam, step forward here with that slight angle. Great question.
Sensei, I have a question. Can
Yes.
you go over closer to the camera, what's happening with the hand?
Yeah.
We're
So
seeing you in mirror.
oh, you're seeing me in mirror? Let me
Yeah,
see.
don't worry about it. I can follow, but I just need to.
Oh, I can flip that. I can 100% flip that.
At least that's what I'm seeing. It may be me.
On the left
Don't worry about
side.
it.
Oh, how did you do that?
Magic.
Yeah.
Better?
Maybe.
All right. So you were asking about this section here. I open up that foot, load, notice everything's pointed forward. Bam, punch, vertical punch, ridge hand from right to left, grasp to center. This is a horizontal punch to end. Same thing here, vertical, ridge hand, grasp to middle.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Beautiful. Any other questions before we move forward? Going once, twice, 3 times. So let's go. All right. So we are ended with our right forward stance, right punch. We're going to retreat now. So same idea. I still want to open that foot up, cat stance, and step forward or step backwards from that cat stance. So nice, good shift into that forward stance. Open, back, shift. So this is generating power through conservation of momentum, right? If I put mass backwards, there's mass going forwards to balance everything out. From here, 1, 2, my left hand is going to do a horizontal spear hand to my center line. I'm going to come up to my left shoulder and I'm going to do a sliding block into a monkey across. Notice my forearm is perfectly straight here. All right, my forearm stays straight. And as I bring it across, it comes just to my silhouette. So it doesn't stop here. It comes across to my side, just to the silhouette. Now, if I take a look here, everyone pause for a second. As I look forward and I try to bring this in, right? I keep my shoulders forward. I can't reach that. And I think very few people could. So what's happening here? I'm bringing my hand perfectly into center line. I can reach my center line, right? And now I rotate ever so slightly so that it comes offline. This is that center line concept. I'm controlling that center line. As I bring it in, I rotate and bring it across. Even the other side. In, straight arm, and I rotate across. This is a very slight movement. Now instead of crossing 1.5 feet, I'm only crossing 75% of a foot, right? Here, turn. And now we can make it nice and fluid as we repeat. Questions on this monkey block? Beautiful. Let's finish out the whole movement. So we have gone from right forward stance in our punch, stepping back, left spear hand. Starting from my left shoulder, I bring it in, rotate so that it's nice and vertical along my side. And I'm going to bring a bent wrist strike straight to the throat. Now this one is very difficult because what happens a lot of the time is when we punch this out, it punches off to the side. So we got to make sure that it stays on line here. So it comes in,
So what I've done,
punch,
without
in, punch, in, and we're punching with that bent wrist. After the third one, hand comes straight to center line. Nice open. We're going to pressing block to the right, sliding block to the left, palm kill strike to the face. Hands are open, nice and straight. Ridge hand, shoulder to shoulder, and then grasp back to middle. One more time. Right forward stance, right punch. Stepping back, watch that stance. Spear hand. 1, 2, 3.
This is the best one.
In,
Try it on the side.
right, left, strike the face, reach hand, shoulder to shoulder, grasp the middle.
I would say be very. Remember.
And we repeat with the opposite side.
Sure you will.
Stepping back, right spear hand, 1, 2, 3, in, left, right, palm go strike the face, ridge hand, shoulder to shoulder, and grasp back to middle. Make sure that it's ending with the knuckles pointed at the throat. Sensei John, you had a question or a comment?
I'm good. I'm good.
All right, let's rip that part out. 3 more minutes. Get both sides.
When you finish that, you turn your head back. You pop out of the hand. Nothing in.
Okay.
1, 2, 4.
Your forearms out here. And you go through. Oh, and if we use our hands, we want to grab. Forearms.
Now we need to do a left horizontal knee. Yeah, the left side. That's it. Or check hand out. Oh, wait, go back. Maybe on this one. So you're gonna go here, and you're gonna put your hand on the inside.
Sensei Alex, make sure we're keeping that forearm nice and straight as it comes across. So I don't have to bring it all the way into my chest, right? I don't have to bring it in here. As it comes in, keep it straight, and then I can turn.
Circle the other way. Circle the other way. So from here, you're gonna circle up over top towards the outside of her arm. Bring it up inside her arm, turn it back around. There you go. That's it. Let's see how we doing down there. Adrian and Sabine, how you guys doing? Stay. Yeah, got it? Awesome. Rohai, doing good, doing it?
Sensei Johnson, can you show the feet going from the movement forward to the movement backward?
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody good, Alan?
So here, I'll go into the black part.
Another disarm.
Back foot opens up,
Okay.
cat stance, and as I step back, it shuts that gate. So I'm pressing off this heel and shifting my weight backwards. So now my back foot is stopping my movement instead of my front foot. Back opens, right? Good cat stance. Shift back.
So the first one we're going to do is what I'm going to call the elbow lock. And so when he comes in with that diagonal strike, I'm going to yang. I'm going to do my check hand again here.
Beautiful.
And now instead of what we did
That looked great,
before,
Sensei.
here, I'm actually going to keep my hand on his, and I'm instead going to come through, smack him in the face, take my poinio right at
Got 30 more seconds. Rep it out a couple more times.
and notice that he went down right away. That feeling is not good. Your elbow is getting torqued in a really funny way. So what I can do with that is when I'm here, I smack him in the face, bring him to the ground, and now.
Beautiful. Everyone pause for a second. Eyes here.
The process of that.
I'm noticing overturning. If I turn this far, I no longer have control of center line. My center line is pointed way over this way, and my opponent's over here. So now I'm losing that power, I'm losing that control. So as we bring this in, I don't want to turn my center line all the way across. I'm seeing a lot of shift in power here, and that's amazing that you guys are connecting this, but we want to minimize that movement. We still want the power from it, but remember, we want to make smallest possible movements as we can. That's why we don't have big stances. Our short stances have to be enough from here. So notice my belt still has that good power angle. And back in. There is only about a 20 to 30 degree turn here. You can still see my belt before I press back out. When we talk about this center line kata, I'm not fighting from these distances, right? Karate, we're good here. Right? We step in, we have big power. When we talk about center line, we're here, right? Everything's already touching, everything's already connecting. That's why our kata starts off here. 1, 2, 3. We're already in. I can't take big moves. I have to generate power from those small movements here. Clear?
Yeah, there you go. Now turn your hip. Turn.
That's it. That's it, Johnson.
So you're changing your center line, but you always keep your center line protected, but you're moving your center to in application.
Yes, in application.
You're moving your center line to attack not their center, their side or whatever, right? Rather than to take on the energy straight ahead.
Correct.
You can do it again as well.
An application.
Yeah, just
Absolutely.
Turn and read.
So when we talk about the zone of power, right? This is where what Sensei Russell's alluding to, is that we have about a 30 to 45 degree angle here right in front of us where all of our power is, right? If I come over here, I can still punch pretty powerfully. My hips are still engaged because they can still point in that direction, right? But suddenly if I'm over here, if I break that 45, I'm on the 180s now. I can't, right? I'm not Master Ulysses. I don't got that hip movement.
Hey, Ulysses reference, all right.
Very good power. I'm splitting my own water buffalo, right? If my stance is here, I'm reaching this direction. So now I'm breaking my own power. So just like you were saying, if his power is right here, right? I don't want to go power on power. I'm a tiny guy. So I want to make sure that my power is focused on him and his power is not focused on me. Now I can generate all my power and he's generating maybe half of his own power. I'm leveling the playing field with that concept. That's a great outlook.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's start it from the top. We bowed in. I'll step forward so you guys can see more clearly. 1. I'm sorry. So we're here. 1. Down. Up. In. Stepping forward. Good transition through. 1. And back to center. Open that front foot. Generate that power in. Shoulder to shoulder. Grasp back to middle. Retreating. Spear hand right to the throat. Up. Notice on my shoulder, it comes in and slight turn. See how my belt's still facing forward? And then bent wrist to throat. In, bent wrist to throat. In, bent wrist to throat. Open hand in. Shoulder to shoulder. Grasp the middle. Retreating. Notice those short stances. Check your stance. Are your toes in line with your heel? Monkey block. Bent wrist. Monkey block. Bent wrist. Third time's the charm. In. Pressing block. Sliding block. Palm, heel, strike.
get it together.
Shoulder to shoulder,
So
grasp the
remember, the
middle.
elbow, start here, all you gotta do is slide.
Any questions up to that point?
Try to get it. First we gotta do it.
Good?
All right,
Awesome.
everybody got that?
All right, so we are
I'll figure that out.
This one more.
here. All right, so our left,
Arm lock.
was there a question?
Now we're starting with this one from the side. We're gonna do a side horizontal strike. So when he comes into the horizontal.
No, we're good?
Okay. I'm using my check hand.
Left foot's gonna come up.
My thigh.
We're gonna go back to that inward stance. So make sure those feet are not super exaggerated. They still have about that 10-degree angle facing outward. So as we step forward, cat stance, bam, out. My left hand is gonna pressing block down. Don't go outside that zone of power, that 30-degree angle right there. 1, 2, look behind you, up, down. Notice where my hands are, they're not here, right? They're right by my hips. Good. Load for double chop. Double chop out. I don't care which direction you look, left, right, but look in a direction, right? So load, bam, out, back in. My elbows are gonna drop down into a double open hand inner middle block, right? Don't be here, out, good, strong inner middle blocks. Only difference, my hands are open. Dropping down, palm corner strike. Pressing block up.
Always finish.
Pressing block down. Bent wrist up.
Right.
Palm corner down. Spear hand to the eyes. Bring it back in. And let's break it down one more time. So we're here with our right stance. Left foot comes up. Left pressing block. Right pressing block.
Yeah, good. Real high.
Double pressing block back.
That's also a good thing. You wanna add that.
Load. My left hand's on top. Chop. Load. My right hand's on top. Drop the elbows. Double inner middle block. Palm corner down. Palm heel up. Palm down. Wrist up. Wrist down. Spear to the eyes. And back in.
All right, real
All
quick.
right, let's go through that sequence one more time, and then I'll start getting into the details of this.
We can do that.
Starting back with the right forward
Do
stance.
that and Yankee in grip on the low strike as well. So
From here,
if I
left up,
make a grip, if I step on the line,
right,
it still works.
double back,
It's a little hard to do.
double chop,
So it's gonna be a low
drop the elbows,
catching his hand.
palm corner,
And this time,
palm heel,
I hit the rib, I make
palm heel,
on the way.
bent wrist, palm corner,
So just do that again.
spear, in. Any questions on the sequence? What moves go where?
No, I don't remember them tonight.
Well, that's just reps, right? And we'll get plenty of reps. Beautiful. All right, let's talk about the finer details on this. So as I step up, right, I'm still loading. My power is still forward. And as I step out, all that power generates down into the ground. Same thing here, right? 1, 2. A lot of power can be generated up, down, right? Use that weight, use gravity to help you out.
By the way,
Load, double chop, back in, and I'm dropping my elbows. Make sure that you have good full extension here.
number one, you want to.
Now with the levels here, I get a lot of questions about the levels for this sequence. As I drop down, this goes at the solar plexus level. This comes up to the neck, down to the belt, up to the mouth, groin, eyes. So you notice I'm segmenting different parts of my body, right? Middle, torso,
Big block here.
full body.
I can do a check.
Right, so every single strike, I'm hitting the bottom and the top of this section, hitting the bottom and the top of this section, hitting the bottom and the top of this section. So what am I targeting? I'm targeting all the weak points, right? Solar plexus, throat, navel, chin, groin, eyes. These are all targeting weak points, weak spots.
So here.
Sound good?
Window block. So.
Beautiful. Start off nice and slow. Build up, gain that fluidity, and then we can start adding that power in so that our body, when we go through this, comes through. Our body's going to flow with it, right? We're pulling up and down along this, and that creates dynamic power. Play around with it. I'll give you guys 3 more minutes to work that sequence.
All right, so one more time. When he comes in with the strike, I'm going to go offline, window block, check. I can hit maybe as I come through, wrap behind him, and if I'm hitting like that, I'm going to turn the tempo, find where his esophagus is, and apply the pressure. And notice where I'm at. I've got my center to the hip. And so if I need to, if I put a lot of pressure on here, he's just going to drop on the floor. Okay? So here's that trying with a window block. So with the window block, you're here. You may strike as you come through, come behind him, grab, pull,
Taking power out of it.
very, very light pressure. If you turn,
Let it flow.
the first thing you see done to, if you turn to the side, this doesn't work. So the attacker or the defender is moving over. Now,
Kamogan, I love those double intermittent blocks. It's a great drop at that elbow because the power is not generated from my shoulder. The power is generated in pulling my lat down, right? This is a nice, strong, big muscle. This is a weak muscle. It's pretty, but we don't want pretty. We want effective. So as I come here, I'm not bringing my shoulders and rotating out. I'm bringing my lat and I'm pulling it, I'm pulling it down.
if you have any questions at all during this, just feel free to unmute and ask a question.
McDowell, that looks great. Watch how far out we come from this. We don't want to escape our zone of power. We want to make sure that they're staying on that silhouette that we talked about previously.
A lot of people following on the majority of it without facing the other way. All good?
Beautiful. All right. Any questions before we move forward? Any questions on concepts, on application, on technique, position, power, fluidity, how good I look today?
Real quick, go ahead and stop for a second.
No? All right, fine. I tried. All right, so we are here, pulled in, stepping forward, opening that right foot. As I come from cat stance, I'm going to palm heel block to the side, pull it across to the left,
Come around here.
palm heel to the face, bridge hand, shoulder to shoulder, and back in. Same thing, right side, open that foot.
Give that one a try.
One,
It's a little harder to do.
2,
One more time.
out, bridge hand, grasp the middle. Beautiful. Now watch the distance on this. As I come forward,
Go ahead and try it out.
this is very close to my chest here. I'm generating all the power across my body. I'm not pressing out. Because watch. When Sensei Matt throws this punch here, my pressing block is here. And that's not because I'm trying to block at that last second. Because if I wanted to block this effectively standing where I am, I would block out here, just like we want to do, right? I want to block away from my body. So why am I training to block here? That's because with this punch, I'm not staying still. Remember, we're connecting that bridge. We're building this. So as he throws that punch, watch this again. Right on my body line, but I'm stepping off line to make that effective. And from here, I pull in, I generate that power. Questions? All right, let's rock those 2 more times. We're here, we just pulled in, open, 1, 2, out, reach in, press the middle, open.
Don't think about that, but that does take a little extra time. And so, in that fraction of a second.
Let's do that one more time, we'll move on to the next part.
We got it? Keep practicing a few more.
Notice where my hand ends. I'm not way out here. I'm right on the edge line. Right on that edge line. Center line. Hit the face. Make it hurt.
Yeah, that's good.
Beautiful. From here, left hand, our feet stay still this time. Left hand comes down, open hand in the middle block. Palm corner down to center line. Chop down across your body. Don't go too far out. Right on the edge line here. Reach across, soft style inner middle block. Slight turn. Reach across, soft style lower block. Slight turn. Now, our inclination, or at least the habit that I've seen, is we like to pull in with this. Remember, we're not pulling, we're not grasping. This is connection. I don't want to yank them in. I just want to maintain contact that whole time. All right, so this is a little bit lower than what you're used to, right? We generally pull here. No, I want to pull nice and low down here, let that pass so that my strike can flow and pull and move, right? Think about that pull. If I pull it here, I'm pulling this side forward. That prevents me from throwing this punch. But if I let it pass, now it drives this punch forward. So let it pass. We are here, open, 1, 2, palm heel to face, rich hand, grasp.
The next one we're going to do is going to be a horizontal strike.
Block, strike, reach hand, grasp to face. Left hand, inner middle block, palm corner down, chop.
Slide my hand down on both hands.
Soft style middle block, soft style lower block. As I pull in here, I let that pass, and then I load up a horizontal palm heel strike and hit it at the ribs. Remember when I said let it pass? Now it's loaded. Bam. Throw it back right out. All right. Now the key here, keep those fingers nice and straight. Our tendency is to grip this in or curl the fingers. Keep that open. Let all of that energy be focused on moving forward, not on gripping, grasping. Right? From here, we step back with our right foot. Open hand in the middle block. Palm corner down. Chop. Soft inner middle block. Soft lower block. Let it open. Push it back in. Reach hand. Grasp the middle. Beautiful. Watch this turn. As I come across, I still have that 45, right? I'm still in my zone of power. As I turn, I'm still in my zone of power. Notice my hand doesn't go past my body. There is no point in blocking something there. It's already past me or it's already through me. Either way, I messed up somewhere. My block stops right here, right in front of my plane. Because that's all I need. Anything that moves past that is already hit. Right? So I pull in, stops right here at my body line. So when I load, I've already loaded where I need it to be. It's not loaded behind me. It's loaded right here. Press that hold.
Do a little hook motion.
Questions?
I'm gonna show you.
Do I need to go over it one more time? Or can you rep it out for 3 minutes?
This doesn't seem to really work for now.
Beautiful. 3 minutes. Rock and roll.
By looping it around and meeting, but don't worry about doing that. If you smash the person's hand, and they're still holding on to it, again, I think you should probably move right. If they're holding on and you smash the hand, step over. Okay, so moving on. The next one we're going to work on are some more like neck takedown or control. And so we're going to start with. Okay, we're going to start with a neck control. So it's not a choke. So he comes within a diagonal strike. I'm going to come in here, and then I'm going to bring his
Sensei Mark,
down.
from this block, chop down to center here. There's a palm corner strike, center, and then finish that movement.
Down on the inside back of the neck.
There it is.
It's important.
1, 2, 3. So
In order to make this
offline, center line,
here, you could
offline.
also pop in the face. We're not here. All right, but I'm here. I'm on the opposite side of him, and I'm digging into him. As I do this,
Sensei Alex, shorten your stance just a smidge.
pushing on the inside of the back of the neck.
Remember, toe to heel.
So you gotta use the poinio on this to make the most effective use of it. Okay? And just so you guys know that.
Kamoka can fantastic stances. Watch that lower chop here. Don't go too far out.
Give that a try.
1, 2,
Offline,
3. Keep it on that
group block.
edge line. Keep it on that silhouette. Right? You have wonderful figures. Don't go out of it.
Any questions?
That's it. Can you, you're an opposite side stance when you do that move?
Correct. So that first part here is right forward stance, left intermiddle block, down, chop, left, left, left. I retreat, left forward stance, right intermiddle chop, or right intermiddle block. Palm corner. So that's correct, Sensei. You're in opposite stance, you're in reverse stance.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Amy, when you're doing that with your poinio, kind of rotate your hand and bring her arm up. And you go, her hand goes up behind her.
Unity green belts. Watch your blocks. You're coming way out. All you need is a bring it into center line and turn.
It takes a little rotation of your hand.
Bring it into center line and turn. Right? Center line principle.
All right, real quick, I want to show you on this one, you can also do any other right or attacks to the left. He comes in with a right horizontal. I can strike him here, bring it around, which is a little more contrived, but I can do it if I wanted to do that. If I wanted to do a window block here, I can do the block. So play around with it, see which different blocks allow you to get that net roll. And personally, I like this one of my favorites because it really does control your attack.
McDowell channel, beautiful shifting stance. I like seeing that flow through catch stance. That was good.
Okay, guys, do a try on different blocks. See how it feels. A few more minutes.
All right. Let's break it down from the beginning. What do you guys think? I see a couple of you guys sort of trying to walk through and then fizzling out about halfway. So let's start from the top. Natural stance, we've just bowed in. Heels swing out. Sticky hands movements. Right on top, left on top, left on top, right, pull it in. Stepping forward, remember to cut through cat stance. Punch, ridge hand, grasp. Cat stance, punch, ridge hand, grasp. Retreat, spear, monkey 1, monkey 2, monkey 3. In, pressing block, palm heel, ridge hand, grasp. Retreat, ridge hand, or spear hand. Monkey, bend wrist. Monkey, bend wrist. Monkey, bend wrist. In, 1, 2, out, ridge hand. In.
If you were to do
Step up, pressing block down, left,
now I can check
right,
his hand,
back,
pop him in the groin,
load left on top,
take him forward.
chop out,
A leg lock.
right on top, drop the elbows,
Instead of a.
solar plexus, throat, navel, chin, groin, eyes, in.
And now.
Step forward the left,
Walk up here.
1,
Like this. We're gonna same
2,
thing here.
out,
Taking him down.
ridge hand, shoulder, shoulder, grasp the middle, advance, right,
Here's how I want to try. So your attacker is doing a left to right diagonal strike. You are going to go into
feet stay the
throw
same,
stance,
left inner middle block,
go, with a window group block, and then you're going to check.
palm
the
corner
side,
down to center line, chop out,
push it forward.
soft style middle block, soft style lower block, load it up, palm heel to ribs, keep those fingers nice and straight and open. Retreat, left forward stance, right inner middle block, palm corner down, chop, soft middle, soft lower, give it back to him, ridge hand, grasp the middle. Beautiful. Let's walk through that one more time, and I'll give you guys about 3 more minutes to walk yourselves through it. And if you get stuck anywhere, if you have a question on it, you can just chime in and let me know. Walking through it together one more time. We've got in sticky hands. In. Step forward punch. Step forward punch. Step forward palm, pressing block. Oh, sorry, spear hand, I'm crazy. Spear hand, retreat, spear hand. 1, 2, 3. In, block, strike. Ridge hand, close. Retreat, spear hand. 1, 2,
and now he's coming back.
3. In, block, strike. Ridge hand,
For my right,
grasp
his
middle.
right leg.
Now we step forward, pressing block down,
Push it forward.
down, double chop,
So you will need to be kind of low
In.
in the stand.
drop the
Don't do
elbows,
that from up high. It's not gonna-
solar plexus,
You just sink
throat,
down, go low from the-
navel, chin, groin,
Okay, one
eyes.
more time. Now we're gonna-
in. Stepping forward, block, thrust the face, ridge hand, and shut it. Stepping forward, block, thrust the face, ridge hand, and shut it. Feet stay the same, left in the middle block,
Tiger, you gotta stand up.
palm corner, chop,
Down low.
soft middle,
All right, let's
soft
move on.
lower,
Before we do.
give it back.
Let me have Tiger Gabriel, you can.
Ridge hand
for a second.
and grasp.
I'm gonna put
Retreat.
you guys on the spot. What's going
In the
to
middle block,
very most
palm corner,
principles
chop,
blocking a strike.
soft middle, soft low, give it back, reach hand, and shut it. Beautiful. Question there. Good gentlemen. All right, I'm gonna add one more thing before I let you guys practice that, and that's your first key eye. Your first key eye is in the second step where we block, strike. All right, so we have done our spear hands, we pulled it in. Here's my first segment. Here's my second segment. Key eye is right here.
This one's going to work for
Reach hand and shut. All right, so it looks like this. We're here, in, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Key eye here. Reach hand, shut it. And then we move on to the next part. Good. Beautiful. 3 minutes, rough it out. You should be able to get through it about 3 times. Nice and slow. Figure out where that movement is.
If I'm not nice, or if he is being obstinate, hit in the hand, I'm going to slide in, and now I'm going to take my hand and push his head.
Beautiful thing.
All right. So for this one, it's the right side, so we do a window block.
Don't block.
Also do this one
Shoot it forward.
for the side horizontal block. We also do this one for the low block. All right, try to get that try. You want to start with the window block, using your check hand from there, top in the hand, up in the hand, slide in deep, you hit the hip, reach up, turn.
Sensei Alex, watch your center line. You're angled off to the side, and that's, there you go. All right, Sensei Eggleston, watch your rich hand. It's coming up a little bit short. Make sure we're coming from one shoulder to the other. So you're extending out before coming across.
Take your left hand. There you go. Now turn and rotate. Yeah, good.
McDowell channel. What you're going to notice is right now, your movement across here is very open, and your movement back front feels very closed off. You feel very limited in this turn here, and that's because your stance is narrow. Open your stance up ever so slightly, and you're going to find yourself having much better movement. Mark, don't forget that second part. So it feels weird because you need 1, 2, then strike. Left, right, then strike forward. Perfect. There you go. Kamokitan, same concept about the rich hand. When we come out, make sure it comes shoulder to shoulder before coming back in.
You got that a few times? Feel that pretty good? That looks good. All right. Okay, so let's move on. We're gonna do another one. Yeah. This is gonna be for.
You need dojo. You looking good? You're very quiet.
And for a right side tap, we're gonna do, for this one, we'll use the side or gang block. These are coming to the horizontal. When it comes here, I'm gonna block.
You guys are also very far away. If you come closer to the camera, then you'll be much better off, I think.
And do a pressing arm.
There you go.
Okay. So
Yeah. It's not a big kata, right? You can squish together a little bit more.
use the check hand.
Yeah, sorry,
No need to apologize. Just letting you know.
Sliding this up to his elbow, and I'm holding on. If you need to, you can actually use your hand against your chest to lock in if you don't grab it.
Good. Rock through the kata one more time, and then we'll start from the top, and we'll finish off.
Drop him to the ground. Strip it if you need to, smack him in the head, and get out of it. All right, without him here, I'm going one, here, striking, and as I strike, I'm gonna slide close to me, slide up, and then rotate down, bring him forward, as I step forward. See it? Give it a try. This is pressing arm. This works for the right side back.
Yep,
Back
give
to
back.
the right. Good. There you go. And you step forward with your left leg.
The side feels different.
Down up here. Okay, after you step your left leg forward for forward. Yeah, there you go. Generally the idea.
All right, we look good. Are there any conceptual questions? Questions on principles or application?
That's it. Good. See, got it.
Questions on technique or sequence? All right, let's go. Starting from the top. Got to keep remembering to move up a little bit. Open the heels. Hands come up, sticky hands. 1, 2, 3. In. Left short forward stance, left punch. Rich hand shoulder to shoulder. Grasp middle.
Now we're going to show
Right side.
a little harder to do. You could potentially cause a little more. You don't do this one. good.
Retreat, spear hand.
You end up getting smacked in the head. But I
1,
there anyway. Just sitting for a left
2,
side, okay? So again,
3.
you can attack the left side with the
In. Block, block, strike.
From here, I got the check hand down. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna step in.
Retreat, spear.
Bring his hand down. Bring it
1,
down, over,
2,
down. and now
3.
I'm gonna with one hand or however.
In.
So I'm
Block,
gonna
block,
shoot out here.
strike. Shoulder to shoulder. Bring it back in. Step up, pressing block down.
Probably a couple more times. If I do this one here.
Double back.
What I do is I come through.
Double chop.
I do that first. I'm gonna strike
In. Drop the elbows.
Take the hand out.
Solar plexus.
Turn.
Throat.
As I
Navel.
forward.
Chin.
Close to him. Now
Groin.
I've got-
Eyes.
now
In.
I've got my hand
Block, block, strike.
here.
Block, block, strike.
As I turn around.
Block, block, strike. Ki.
Fall to the ground.
Block, block, ki. Rich hand.
See it?
Shut it down.
It's a little hard to do.
Left hand moves.
Yeah.
Palm corner down. Chop across.
Comes in.
Soft middle.
Bang.
Soft low. Give it back. Rich hand. Cross. Retreat. Open hand in the middle block.
All right, give it a try.
Palm corner down.
You're still muted.
Chop out.
You're muted, guys. Sit down.
Soft middle. Soft low. Give it back.
You got it.
Rich hand. Grasp.
The important part of this, of course.
Do we want to go over that one more time or do we want to move forward? If you want to go over it one more time, put your hand on your head.
Real quick.
If you're okay moving forward, put your hands on your hips.
Good. But since they Matt came in for that strike.
Beautiful. The heads have it. Let's go over it one more
When
time.
I start to turn around like this, if I
From natural stance.
elbow down low here, he's gonna.
Sticky hands. 1,
There's no way
2,
of doing it about that.
3.
What I'm
In.
gonna do is I'm gonna get his elbow
Punch.
up,
Rich
high,
hand.
and
Grasp.
pulling it back like this.
Punch.
Fall.
Rich hand.
Not a back.
Grasp.
Get the juicy on.
Retreat. Spear.
Try that a few more times.
1, 2, 3. In, block, block, strike. Reach hand, grasp. Retreat, spear. 1, 2, 3. In, block, block, strike. Reach hand, grasp. Stepping up, press down. 1, 2. Double back. Double chop. In. Drop the elbows. Navel. Throat. Sorry, soul plexus, navel. Chin. Groin. Eyes. In. Step forward. 1, 2, strike. 1, 2, strike. Rich hand. Grasp. 1, 2, strike. Ki. 1, 2. Ki. Rich hand. Grasp. Left hand block. Down. Chop. In the middle. Lower. Strike back. Rich hand. Grasp middle. Retreat.
Very good, nice, all right. Everybody have a chance to do that a few times?
All right. Next move. Feet stay still one more time. Bong sao. Right. We always call this bong sao. So you can relax a little bit. Right. Paying attention to how my hand moves here. Now, bong sao, we normally think of it as a block coming across, spearing forward. Think of it more like an elbow block. Our elbow is what's coming to the center line. Our forearm is what's doing the block. So if I bring my elbow to center line, I really don't have to turn that much, right? If I try to get my elbow to center line here, it's almost there. If I really stretch, then I can make it. But we want to be comfortable. We want to have that powerful movement, right? Notice where my fist is in conjunction with my shoulder. I'm punching to opposite shoulder. My elbow is right next to my center line. Now we're going to take that elbow block. We're going to punch down to the hip, and we're going to turn that over. So look at where my hand is compared to my hip.
And I'm going to come up underneath him.
Look at how far away I am. I'm not right next to me. I'm not super far out, right? I'm able to just connect that line to my hip. My elbow is just outside of my center line. So what do? I rotate that last 10 degrees.
When you come in,
I come back, open hand in the middle block. Palm heel to chin with an open hand.
In, come around, and now all you're gonna do is if you want to try to lift
Rotate to grasp.
this point here.
Right, and then same thing on the other side.
If you want to.
Hand to shoulder or hand to hip.
Now,
Elbows around the center line, so I turn that last
let me tell you, please.
10 degrees.
Be very mindful of where your body
In the
is
middle block.
in relation to him.
Palm
If
heel
I were
up.
here, when I did the
Grasp.
throw, and his arm was out like this.
Any
on
questions
his
there?
shoulder, I can rip
There
his
is
arm
no
to the side.
rich hand on that one.
So I need to be up here.
Right.
I am my shoulder buried in his arm.
Beautiful. So let's start it from the
And one more time. He comes in, I block.
Ki
Strike,
here.
in, on
You should be left foot forward and punch. All right.
All right, give that a try.
Elbow block. Open in the middle. Palm heel up. Grasp. Advance. Elbow block. Open in the middle. Palm heel up. Grasp. Beautiful. Rep that out. Make it work for you.
Slide buttons straight up. Slide your elbow under or your shoulder under her arm. You want to be against her. There you go. That's it. Nice.
There you go.
Right? Good. And reminder.
Is there anything major that's stopping you from also doing it in the?
Hey, McDowell's, when we're coming here, you're shorting that second block. Make sure it comes across back to the opposite side all the way.
I'll show you. If I'm in Yang, and I come in, and I do this block here, I smack him in the head, I come up here, I could, but I'm not careful when I'm doing that, I smack it. Not to mention, when I'm here with this block here, to get this.
Unity Dojo,
Position I need to
looking
go
here.
to, I've got to go out. I've got to
Be
go
careful of
back.
how far we're turning, because you're turning here,
Again,
and then you're not turning back. So everything's
again, I'm here.
cockeyed off to the side.
Makes it a little
Make sure that
more-
we're staying in that 30-degree range, right? Anytime you look at your camera, you should be able to still see the knot of your belt, right? Even if I'm here, my knot's still here,
All right. So,
knot's still here.
just work on tempo.
The more you can face this knot straight forward, the better off you're gonna be.
We're gonna work on empty hand. So we're gonna work on attacks with someone who's attacking with a tempo, but you don't have one. Okay, so we'll work alternating back and forth, which is great because you're gonna be empty handed, you're gonna end up with a tempo, and then you're gonna attack back. So you can alternate back and forth on this one. So the first one we're gonna do is kind of we're similar to the one that we did earlier, in fact, it's the same idea. One elbow lock that we did where we both feel happy, correct? So when the man comes in for this attack, I'm gonna come offline, boom, I'm gonna hit him in the face, and then I'm gonna come through here. Notice I dropped the tempo out when I did that, and this actually leads right into the another one. In fact, let me just skip this one. This will make it easier. This is kind of simple.
Kamoga's doing great hip movement,
Or hit him in the neck.
just enough.
And what I'm gonna do with this hand, is I'm gonna turn the hand down, I'm gonna turn
There it
it
is.
around, and I'm gonna bring it up like this.
Shorten up those stances a little bit, Kamogan. We're a little far, remember,
So when he comes.
heel to
in,
toe,
I'm grabbing his check,
heel to toe,
and all I'm doing is I'm.
right?
putting my hand
Think like you're doing a roadside sobriety test, heel to toe. You just want them slightly apart.
Then I step offline, hit, use this check hand. I'm gonna drop the tempo, and his arm and shoulder down, turning it around, twisting it, so that now I've got it in this position. Like this.
The other one, any questions?
Down, down, and around. Go ahead and give that a try. No, take that.
All right, I'm gonna give you guys 3 more minutes to rep this out, but I'm gonna give you a new concept and new principle to work with. All right, so focusing here, I'm seeing a lot of rotation outwards. But remember, I'm focused on center line. My projection, my energy should be forward. So this rotation is about extending one side. It's about extending outward. So that as I rotate, this shoulder applies all the torque and power out, right? Think about a big windmill. As I rotate, all of my energy's out forward from this point here. So I want to take that small energy and I want to rotate it out and amplify it.
Yeah, there you go.
So anytime we're doing these blocks, these elbow blocks, these spear hands, these palm heels, these palm corners, these chops, think projecting your energy forward, not necessarily across your body. So one good example is on the fourth sequence where
Sensei. Sensei, on the bong sow, is it only a step on the last one? The first one is static from where we were. The second one is a step.
correct.
Okay, thank you.
So a good example is on this rotation here, right? We're stepping sideways.
Wow,
projecting forward, right? I'm stepping forward, I'm blocking side. My energy, this shoulder, look at this rotation, right? The rotation is what causes it to come to the side. But I'm thinking about my shoulder coming across to generate that power. It's not here. This is not the motion, right? I'm not trying to like get someone to like, come, hey, come along, kids, let's go. I'm trying to get this shoulder forward here, right? My energy projects forward, just like when we demonstrated with the punch, left punch. Right? I'm not trying to press aside. I'm trying to press forward into him. See where his movement goes? Because my shoulder is what's driving him out. Everything goes forward on this. All right? All right, 3 more minutes. Take the concept. Try to project your energy forward.
As I do that, I'm going to step. Here, as I turn this wrist, I'm going to step forward into him. Essentially, it's essentially like Shiranagi, but not for the side. It's like a half of not quite full Shiranagi in the way.
That's it. It looks different. It feels different. I can tell which ones are projecting forward and which ones are rotating on the spot. You look good. Now you just got to figure out which one I'm talking about. Is it you?
Adrian Sabine, you good with it? Yeah.
Unity, shorten your stance.
Okay, good. Now, that's Sabine. When you did that, make sure you're facing your opponent. Don't turn around and face the other direction. So you want to turn and stay facing the same towards their back. Keep your face.
Unity, beautiful power. Try to minimize the windup.
Let's go ahead and move on. Running out of time. We only have time to do maybe a couple more. Okay, so the next one we're going to do, we've already done the canvas in our hand. Okay, and there's any variation, any number of variations for this particular hip throw that we're going to do. So if he comes in with that strike again, I'm going to come offline, hit him deep. I'm going to hit him here. Now, what we did earlier.
All right, let's start again from the beginning. We'll walk through it one more time together, and then we'll wrap up the kata.
Now that I don't have a tempo in this hand,
Starting off.
with a Goshi or a Kochi Luma, which is
Bout in.
coming in, hit here, and to me, this is actually
Stick your hands.
which is
1, 2, 3. In.
behind his head.
Step forward, punch.
Hit him in the arm lock.
Step forward, punch.
Okay? So don't
Retreat to your
let
hand.
take the throw. Don't take the throw. But
1,
you can also do
2,
come in, hit him in the
3.
face, come
Block,
down,
strike.
and do a regular Goshi.
Retreat, reach your
Low
your
behind the
hand.
back, you go up around the neck,
1,
or you come up under the shoulder.
2,
Personally,
3.
I think hip wheel, which is the one behind the neck, is the most efficient.
Step up, block down.
Time. I just come in, hit him, turn, and down.
Double chop. In. Drop the elbows.
So what you'll
1,
do,
2, 3, 4, 5,
Check
6.
the hand, hit them in the
In.
face, come in.
Block, strike.
If you want to, or
Rich hand.
ready to make the whole throw go.
Block, strike. Ki. In the middle block. Block down. Chop. Block. Soft style. Shoot it back out. Make that nice and fluid. 1, 2. Retreat, same thing.
Yeah, real high, nice, look good.
Elbow block. Make sure it's nice and open here. Palm heel up. Grasp. Advance, elbow block.
Okay, now, Amy, listen to me, yeah, you do that one.
Good. Good to move forward? Excellent. All right, left foot, stepping forward. Left hand spears down to the groin. Right hand chops up to the bicep. All right, spear, chop. So it's gonna look like this. I step forward, notice my stance. Cat stance first, right? Bam. Beautiful.
All right.
So
That
one,
a few times.
this is a chop now. With a chop up.
All right, so
Chop
we need to do one
with a
more.
chop. Okay, from here, right hand punches forward. Notice where my left hand's chambered. It's chambered all the way back. These are Kung Nu punches now.
Realistically, if he throws a right to left hook,
Last one, Ki. Hey!
then he's gonna throw a left. to right,
Rich hand.
Come in.
Grasp.
Now, I've got.
My left hand's gonna drop down. My right hand's gonna come over, and my heels are gonna rotate in back to natural stance. And that's it.
I come in, I check
That's
it.
the kata.
I can immediately from here, just take you, pressing arm.
Let's rock it again. We'll do it one more time from the top. And then I'll let you guys play with it. If you have questions about concept or application, then we can knock those questions out like that after that. So,
Hand, my hand.
bowing into kata.
The two thumbs right here. But you have to be careful on this one. I start maybe in the face. I do
Cha.
Dash, or bit rest. And there's a whole bunch of
Sticky hands.
we can do with that. So why don't we try just the pressing arm to start? That's
Chamber.
probably the same one. You come in deep.
Step forward.
That's the arm. Pop them in the leg if you get that. Pop them in the leg.
Forward.
Then step forward, rotate, drop to the ground, strip it out.
Retreat spear hand.
Give that a try.
Retreat spear hand. Step up, lock down. Double chop. In. Drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Step forward, block, block, strike. Reach hand, grasp. Block, block, strike, ki. In a middle block. Down, chop, soft, soft, give it back. Reach in, grasp, retreat, block. Palm corner down, chop out, soft middle, soft low, feed it back to him. Reach hand, grasp the middle. Palms out. Up. Palm heel, grasp. Advance. Lock. Palm heel, grasp. Spear hand, chop. Stepping forward to left. Chop. Chop. 1, 2. Right hand, punch. 1. These are Kung Nu punch now. 2, 3. Ki. Rich hand.
So when you're gonna do that.
Grasp. Nice and subtle. Left hand drops. Right hand goes over. Back to natural stance. Bowing out.
I want to try to bring it more towards
Chop.
like this. Rather
Woo! That was fantastic. That was great. I felt good.
That's great. Thank you, Sensei. So on the last 4,
Uh-huh.
It's a spear hand chop, then a chop, 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 2 times, right?
But it moves, right?
1, 2, 3. And then punch 2, 3, 4. So it's 3, then 4.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey,
Great class. Excellent.
Yes, thank you.
Excellent. Way to teach. It was awesome.
appreciate that, senseis. Any other questions? Anyone have concepts, applications they want to run through, things they want to look at? Are they finding trouble generating power in certain sections? Are you wondering if your stance is good? No?
Good job. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you, Sensei. I appreciate that.
My main problem is that I'm trying to unlearn the Wing Chun the way we originally learned
Yep.
it in order to
Oh,
learn the center.
This is probably the 6th official iteration as we've gone through. This is definitely the one that Grandmaster Quinn worked on the most. He worked directly with Master Elizabeth on this, and he was working with her right up until the end. So this was definitely his vision. This is where he wanted the culmination of Centerline Kata to end up. So this is it. This is our Kung Nu Centerline concept.
Sensei Johnson, is there a version of the most recent one on the Kung Nu website?
There is. It has Master Elizabeth with it, and I believe it does say updated. So it'll say Centerline 1 Kata updated.
Because Master Kirk had one on for years.
Yep.
Yep, okay.
Yep. So you'll find one with Master Elizabeth doing it, and it should say it's the updated version.
Perfect.
What I'm also going to do is I'm going to, if you look at the chat, this is my email address. I have a Word document where I have written out all the individual steps. And then I have
You
also
have
put
his email, Joe?
about
Johnson@gmail.com.
happening, what you should be feeling, what basic concepts are being applied in those sections. So if you're interested in that document, then shoot me an email and I'll send it right to you guys.
Thank you.
Looks like, oh, nailed it. Look at that. We have 1 minute. If you guys have any more questions, I will stick around for that whole wonderful minute and beyond if you get to need me too. But thank you so much for joining me. Gentlemen,
Thank you.
my own students walked away from me. Thank you guys for sticking around.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Bye, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sensei Johnson. This was awesome.
Hey, yeah, it was great
You're very
class.
welcome. Thank you for
Really
coming.